My daughter Maggie was absolutely precious. She was beautiful. She was just vibrant and healthy and outgoing and funny. Very smart student, very good grades, and we were just so proud of her. She was also real funny and comical. She made everybody laugh, and if somebody was feeling down, she would just say a joke or just be herself, and it just made people laugh. So she had that funny side to her that people just loved. And I know I laughed all the time with her. She was just such a blessing. She was also a talented athlete. She loved being a goalie for soccer. She played on multiple teams. At one point, she was like on 3 different teams for the school team and a travel team, Stars United, and then she subbed for another team and just lived and breathed soccer. She was precious, and she was beautiful. She didn't see it, but she was beautiful. She didn't wake up for school that morning. She always got up about 6 o'clock, 5:55, and she would come and get in bed with me. And that morning, my alarm clock went off, and she didn't come and get in bed with me. And I thought, well, that's weird. And so I get up and I go down the hall, and her door was locked. My husband Andy was out of town on business in Atlanta, so it was just me and my son Marshall. He was across the hall in his room, and her door was locked. And I was like, Marshall, help me get this door open. I can't get this door open. And he actually used his school ID, and he slid it down, and he was able to jimmy her door open. And we found Maggie together, Marshall and I, that morning. She apparently had taken her life late the night before. So I can just tell you that it's the worst pain you could ever imagine, and then multiply that by 1,000, because it's just terrible, terrible pain. I had no idea that my daughter was suicidal. I'll tell you that now. Absolutely no idea. No idea that she was struggling with anything in her life to the point that she would take her life. So I was utterly shocked. After Maggie died, I realized that Maggie was probably much more vulnerable and at risk than I realized, because Maggie didn't share things with us. We found out so much after Maggie died that she struggled with. So, you know, to moms and dads, I just say keep open communication with your child and talk about things, don't hide from it. I think Maggie was confused, and Maggie, even though she was outgoing on the outside, she actually had a lot of confusion on the inside. She had low self-esteem, and I think she was picked on because of that. I think that just a small group of girls, it wasn't a lot of kids, but I think that they picked up on that and kind of zeroed in on that with Maggie and kind of made her doubt her self-worth, made her confused. Her sexuality was questioned. She was called some names associated with that, and that bothered her a lot. I was only made aware of that once, and I asked Maggie, I said, it was on a school bus going home with another child for a weekend, and she came home that weekend on Sunday and said that she had been called a lesbian and that she was gay. And I said, that's it, I'm calling school tomorrow. I'm not, that's not going to be tolerated, that's wrong. And she begged me not to. So there's another piece of advice for parents, is if your child begs you not to call the school about any issue, do it. I would tell any person struggling, any child struggling, no matter what your age, whether you're a young teen or an older teen, that it's okay to be different. Just love yourself and accept yourself for exactly who you are. You know, God made you exactly like you are. And if you feel different, that's okay. You're going to go through a lot in your life where you're going to be confused, where you're going to doubt your self-worth. That's normal, because today's society is a hard society to grow up in. It's scary, and it can be very confusing. So just love yourself and accept yourself, and be patient with yourself. You're going to grow up, and you're going to change, and you're going to become stronger and more confident in yourself. You just have to just believe in yourself. But above all else, I just encourage you to develop a relationship with Jesus Christ. He loves you so much, and I just encourage you to pray. And you know what? All you have to do is just whisper Jesus' name. You don't have to pray in any certain way. He knows exactly what's in your heart. But you just have to choose to give it to Him and just choose to let Him help you through it. And He will. He will. He'll make you stronger. Just have the courage to do it. And it has to be your choice. You know, don't try to do it by yourself. Go and, you know, talk to your mom. Go next door and talk to a neighbor. Go get help from anybody to help you talk through this, okay? Because it's just a terrible tragedy. My daughter, oh boy, she just had so much life to live. She was so precious, and I just think she became so confused and just made that final tragic decision to end her life. And it's just a shame. I just miss her so much. So please don't ever, please don't ever make that decision. It's not me. It's not me. God has blessed us so much. So many people have come up to me and, aren't you mad at God? Don't you blame God? Well, how can God do this to Maggie? Why did God do this? God didn't do this. It was, you know, Maggie was sick, and she had a lot of external things from the world, from our sinful world, that affected her and made her make this tragic decision. I don't blame God. He has blessed us so much. He gets me up every day. I'm able to work and smile, and I have so much joy from my other child, Marshall, who I adore, just like I adored Maggie. He just started college this month, and so, you know, I have a lot to live for. I know I'm going to see Maggie again one day in heaven and live with her and for an eternity. I have so much hope because of that. I just have so much hope that we'll be together again one day, all of us, because we are saved and we will be in heaven with Jesus one day. So I'll tell you that I pray and I pray and I pray. I pray so much because I have to. Because let me tell you, it's hard. It's hard. I get really down. I get. I can't say I get depressed, because I think God has helped me avoid that. But I'll tell you that it's really hard sometimes to function. But He blesses me and He gives me the strength to go on. Same as my husband, Andy. He blesses us both. After Maggie died, we found a poem that she had written. It was an English project, and she actually wrote this poem in 7th grade. So over a year before she died, we found this after she died. She wrote this over a year before she died, and it was called Inside and Outside Poem. And the assignment in the English class was to write a poem contrasting the inside of yourself versus the outside, how people perceive you. And so when we found this on her computer after she died, it was just another thing that just indicated how much turmoil Maggie was in, that she never shared with us. Like I say, I knew she had low self-esteem and different issues, but I just didn't know to the degree. So I want to read her poem to you, because I just think it's so powerful to show you. And I think a lot of kids maybe have some of these same feelings that they could relate to. This was written on February the 21st, 2008 by Maggie Campbell. It's called Inside and Outside Poem. On the outside, I'm as shy as a caged dog, cowering from its captor. On the inside, I'm as outgoing as a flourishing weed, trying to share its true beauty. On the outside, my blemished features hide my insecurity as I try to circumvent the events happening around me. On the inside, I strive for attention like a newborn child wanting its mother. On the outside, the comfortable, casual clothing I wear is only the barrier between my mind and my body, saving me from losing myself. On the inside, my feeling of comfort is a swirling hurricane thrusting itself into my self-consciousness. On the outside, the blue braces obstructing my white teeth of my smile barely ever see the artificial light flowing out of the cheap lighting above. On the inside, my smile gleams with the brightness of 1,000 diamonds, blinding myself with my unseen happiness. On the outside, my stringy chestnut hair expresses my laid-back look on life, deceiving some. On the inside, I care not for the look on my oddly rounded body or my screechy voice, but for how I act in front of friends and the people I care for. I see the inside of myself as a much more abiding concept, flourishing my life to people who know me, while deceiving people who only judge the outside.